In this box is the new just released Midland Cliptalk Micro Two-Way radio, which may just be the world's smallest two-way radio. The cost for the new Midland Cliptalk Micro Two-Way radio is, as of today, $110 of monies for a set of 2 of these very small, very lightweight radios. And when you crunch the numbers and run the equations, that means that the radios cost about 55 monies a piece. And allow me to point out and hopefully prevent any stupid comments from some people that will no doubt proclaim that I will do or say anything that a radio manufacturer tells me to do just so I can get free stuff. I did not get these radios for free. In fact, I paid full price for these radios using the monies that I collected and saved up all by myself from my supporting channel members. Those are the very good people that voted to support me and my channel by clicking the join or thanks buttons below. Anyway, for your clicking pleasure, I will put an affiliate link to these radios that, when clicked, will take you directly to the product pages of the radios so that you can look up more details or purchase a set all for yourself. That link will be in the more information section of the video, also below. Now, before I get started, I should point out right here and right now and right up front that these are not Radio Dork radios. These are low-power, short-range radios. Midland says that the radios can give up to about 1 mile of FARs in good conditions, and they are intended to be used whilst working on a job site, hiking, coaching your football team, working in a restaurant or a warehouse, or doing other things that require you to stay in contact with your team that is nearby, but too far away for yelling. But using a radio like one of these is especially useful for walking around at the mall whilst wearing your full tactical granimals to impress the chicks. Further, these radios are not made for emergency use. They are not made for bouncing your signal off the moon, and they certainly are not made for making contacts with anonymous men in exotic and faraway places. So anyone leaving stupid comments proclaiming that these radios are just toys or trying to convince everyone to get a ham radio license and buy a radio that costs 5 times more than one of these radios is clearly far too stupid to be taken seriously and should be ignored with extreme prejudice. Anyway, the FCC has classified these as FRS radios, and this means 2 things. Number A, no license is required to use these radios. Number B, anyone of any age can use these radios. And 3, because they are 22-channel FRS radios, this means that you can talk with any other FRS radio and all GMRS radios, no matter the brand. So if your friend has one of those 22-channel radios from Walmart, or if your friend has a fancy radio that says GMRS on the box, then it can talk with these radios. And even better, using one of these radios to talk with a bigger handheld or mobile radio will help to get more FARs out of these radios because of the larger antennas and more power of the other radios. Anyway, when you purchase a 2-pack of Midland Cliptalk Micro Two-Way radios in the box, you will receive this quick start guide that will get you up and running with the radios, even if you are in a hurry or no longer have enough of an attention span to read the full user manual because you've watched too many TikTok videos. You will receive this user manual, 18 pages long and written in perfect English, as one would expect from an American company based right here in the heart of this now great again country. The manual goes over all the features of the radios and how to use them, and it is printed in a font that does not require a magnifying glass or a telescope to read. You will receive 2 standard USB-C cables for charging the radios. You will receive 2 earpieces, I will discuss these more momentarily. And you will receive 2 Midland Cliptalk Micro Two-Way radios. As you can see, the device is very small. Measuring in at this big, by this big, by that big. And, before I forget, a lot of viewers have been leaving comments asking why I wear these gloves. I thought it would be obvious to anyone with a brain, but the reason I wear these gloves is to keep the oil and dirt on my fingers from smudging up the screens and the buttons of the radios that I review. Anyway, the radio is very light, weighing in at just over 1 ounce. And of course, that is the weight when the battery is fully charged. Obviously, due to the laws of conservation of energy and the unexplainable phenomenon of entropy, the radio will get lighter as the battery wears down. Just for comparison, my phone with an almost full battery weighs over 7.5 ounces. The radios do require some assembly. You have to plug in the earpiece portion. But fear not, for there are pictures on the plugs for idiots so that you don't try to accidentally plug the earpiece into the charging port. The earpiece can go on either side of your brain case because the small earpiece speaker thingy is fully rotatable. And this is an on-the-ear speaker, not an in-the-ear earplug. So it's more comfortable and you don't have to worry about getting it all sweaty in your ear or blocking out other sounds. If you have big ears, you can kind of jam it in your earlobe hole a little, and that will help to keep it in place more securely. But if you have small ears, that may not work. On my ear, it fits just perfect. Like my mama used to always say, it fits just like an Alabama Hot Pocket. But better than that because it doesn't get all sweaty like a Cincinnati steamer tends to end up getting. And the earpieces do seem to work fine with eyeglasses. At least they work fine when I wear my glasses. And this is not the kind of crappy little earpiece that comes with many cheap Chinese radios. It is not super high quality or built out of titanium or anything like that. It is plastic and rubbery for comfort, but it's not total junk. So I expect that it will last longer than the earpieces that come with many lesser radios. The radio uses an internal lithium polymer battery that is not user replaceable, and Midland says that it will last for about 8 hours. And when the battery gets low, the radio starts beeping to let you know. I've been playing with mine on and off for the last few days, and they both have almost a full charge. But to be clear, I have not been transmitting a lot on them, which will suck down the battery a lot faster. And unfortunately, you cannot use them whilst charging them. When the battery does get low, you recharge it via this USB-C's hole, using the USB-C's wire that came in the box or any USB-C's wire. The screen has a battery indicator and the channel indicator, and as you may have already noticed with your visual juice bags, the screen automatically turns off after about 5 seconds to preserve the battery, but it does have a small flashing indicator right there to let you know that it's still turned on. When you transmit or when the radio receives a signal, the screen comes back on for a few seconds. To turn the volume up or down, you just click the plus or minus button and you will hear a little beep indicating the intensity of the current volume setting through the earpiece. To change channels, you press and hold the plus or minus button for a few seconds and then keep holding it or click it. On the side, you will find this ribbed PTT trigger. It's ribbed so that you can find it tactily using your fingers so that you don't have to look at the radio to find it. The built-in microphone is located here on the radio itself, not in the earpiece, and the antenna is right here. It's part of this wire. On the back is a fully rotatable clip made for attaching the radio to your shirt, and there is a second clip that's removable and can be moved to anywhere on the wire of your choosing so that you can attach that to your shirt and keep the wire from flopping all around. The radio has built-in noise canceling or built-in noise cancellation, known by us radio experts as ANC, just like the big movie theater chain. The noise cancellation is enabled by default, but you can turn it off and on by holding the press to talk trigger whilst you turn the radio on. If I didn't already mention it, I don't believe I did. To turn the radio on and off, you press and hold this button here. And this is how the noise cancellation works and sounds in a noisy environment.
This is how the radio sounds in a noisy environment with the noise cancellation off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how the radio sounds in a noisy environment with the noise cancellation enabled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So as you just heard with your very own sonic detection holes, the ANC works fairly well. And yes, this radio does have a Roger beep. And like any high-quality radio, the Roger beep is enabled by default. And one very helpful feature that this radio has that I usually ignore on all other radios is the Vox, or voice-operated talking. This means that when you talk, the radio will automatically start transmitting, and when enabled, the Vox turns this radio into a fully hands-free radio, which for this type of radio can be very useful. By default, the Vox is not enabled, so to enable the voice-operated talking, or Vox, you must use the free app from Midland that lets you configure and optionally program the radio wirelessly via the Bluetooth from your phone. So to do that, you just download the free Midland app to your device and then enter the programming mode on the radio by holding the plus and the minus buttons at the same time. Thusly, when in programming mode and waiting for a connection, you'll see this little ant crawling around in circles on the screen. You then connect to the radio in the app, and once the app is connected, you'll see this little Jeebus cross on the screen, meaning that it is truly connected. You can then activate the Vox, and you can also set how sensitive the Vox is, meaning how loud and how long you must talk before the radio recognizes that you're talking and it starts to transmit automatically. If the sensitivity is too high, it will transmit every cough and every sniffle that you make. If the sensitivity is too low, it may not transmit anything unless you're screaming. I have found that setting it right in the middle is just right. The app is very simple to use, and as you can see, it has only a few options. And you can go in and create custom channel groups or add privacy tones and privacy codes, which can also only be done in the app. Using the app is optional, so you can use the radio without ever using the app. However, if you want to adjust the squelch or use or adjust the Vox or add security codes, you can only do that with the app. And to use the app, you do not need to pay any monies or create an account or give Midland an email address or any other information. You simply download the app and start using it. When you're done using the app, you just press the push to talk trigger to exit the Jeebus programming mode or the waiting programming mode or whatever mode it's in. Just press the push to talk trigger, which is ribbed. The radios come with no preset tones, so right out of the box, it will talk with all other FRS or GMRS radios, assuming those radios are not using any tones. And kudos to the Midland Corporation for clarifying right on page 11 of the user manual that privacy tones are not private. I've made entire videos explaining that privacy tones are not private and how the walkie-talkie industry is tricking customers into thinking that they are private by continuing to call them privacy tones. So I do believe that this is the first time that Midland or any major radio corporation has acknowledged that I have been right all along in writing. Anyway, what everyone wants to know is how many FARs does it talks? My friend, as I have already mentioned, these radios are not made for bouncing your signal off the moon or making contacts with anonymous men. These radios are made for staying in contact with your group, your coworkers, or your co-conspirators, whilst at fairly close range, like at the other end of a building or half a mile away or so if you're hiking or off-roading with an e-bike in the outdoors. Midland says that the radios give about 1 mile of FARs, but one must bear in mind that that would be in perfect conditions with nothing between you and the other radio. So as already mentioned multiple times, these radios are not intended for emergencies or for long-range communications, but they are perfect for doing anything where you'll be within a mile or so or less of your group out in the open, like whilst hiking or e-biking. And they're even better for something like on-site security, construction, or a crew manager at the local Quickie Mart or at a restaurant. And of course, they are perfect for walking around the mall and impressing the chicks whilst pretending to be a security guard. So if you are looking for a super small, super lightweight, hands-free radio that can talk with any FRS or any GMRS radio, then the Midland Cliptalk Micro Two-Way radios might just be the radios for you.